All right, let's take a look at the show you know. So we're given two mixed numbers, 2 and 1/8 minus 1 and 1/2. So with fraction strips, we can see we've got 2 and 1/8 minus 1 whole one and then a half. Now, we've got a half and an eighth. We're dealing with different size pieces, so we know that that's not going to work. So we need to break this one up into eighths as a starting point to see where we're at. So there, now we're talking about the right size pieces, but we're trying to subtract 4 little ones from 1 little one, and that's not going to work. So what we need to do next is convert one of the wholes of our first mixed number into eighths as well. So we can do that fairly quickly and easily by just dividing this into eighths. So now we've got a new way of looking at this. We've got 1 whole and 9/8 minus 1 whole and 4/8. So we can take 1 whole away from 1 whole, and then that just cancels out. And actually here, let's write this out. We've got 1 whole minus a whole, and those just cancel out to become 0. And then we've got 9/8 minus 4/8, which we know to be 5/8. So in actual fact, that's our answer. It's just 5/8. And that is lowest terms as well. So that one was fairly easy to deal with. You just have to recognize where to break things down into your lowest common denominator. Okay, part B, we're going to use the subtraction statement and improper fractions to solve 2 and 1/4 minus 7/8. So we need to deal with a common denominator, and probably you recognize that 4 and 8 as our denominators. Our common denominator is just going to be 8. So to get to 8, we multiply 4 by 2. And so if we do that on the bottom, we have to do that on the top. So 1 times 2 becomes 2. So 2 and 2/8 is equivalent to 2 and 1/4. And then we are subtracting 7/8. Now, we can't subtract 7 from 2, so we're going to need to do something over here with this 2. And the easiest thing to do is convert it into a improper fraction to start with. So 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 2 gives us 18, and that's still over 8. And then 7/8, that's not a mixed number, so we can just leave it as it is. So now we've got 18/8 minus 7/8. We have a common denominator. The first number is bigger than the second number, so we're good to do the subtraction. And in this case, we're going to keep the denominator the same as we normally do when subtracting. And 18 minus 7 gives us 11. So our answer is 11/8. But that is now an improper fraction, so it's still not quite right. We need to convert that into a mixed number. So 8 goes into 11 one time with 3 remainder, and our denominator stays the same. So there you have it. The final answer is 1 and 3/8.